Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time, in my opinion, is a pretty funny one. I think it's a good one that you guys will enjoy. Actually, now that I think about it, it's not so funny. It's kind of scary to look back at. But the other day, I was going through my YouTube channel, going through some of my most popular videos, just looking at old videos, kind of, having nostalgia, you could say. And I see this one video on my channel that was performing really well about this emo kid that I used to know, or kind of know. And it did really well. And for some reason, a lot of my other videos do really well when it comes to talking about emo or goth people. Don't know why. It's not like I'm bashing on them or anything. I mean, your boy himself has a little bit of emo in him if you didn't hear Waste My Life. But anyway, after reading that title, it got me thinking about this one time back in high school that I haven't talked about before. Can't believe I haven't talked about this. It's pretty interesting, and I'm glad that I remembered it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's jump into it. So, this all starts off as a normal day. It was 2015. I was in high school. I was doing YouTube at this point. It was not near the point it was at, now. But it was starting to pick up some momentum, and I was still in school at the time, and all I was trying to do was just finish high school and go on summer break that year and grind YouTube, basically. So that was kind of my plan, right? Now, in my high school, it wasn't the biggest high school in the world. It was like fairly big for what I was used to compared to my old school. But for the most part, it was, a normal-sized high school. It wasn't like thousands of kids or anything. But anyway, there was this one kid in my high school. Let's just call this dude Anthony, okay? Now, Anthony dressed in all black clothes. He kind of looked like your typical emo poster boy, to be honest. Always wearing band t-shirts. And there's nothing wrong with that. Your boy wears band t-shirts too, and I wore them back then too. But Anthony took it to the next level. That dude would dye his hair half and half, different neon colors. He was a very, very standout character, you know what I mean? And he was really cool. I'd talked to him a few times, and he was always really nice to me. I would have definitely considered him a friend back then. Maybe not a close friend, but definitely an acquaintance / distant friend, mutual friend, I guess. But one day, all of that changed completely. So one day I walk into school, and I had my second period class with Anthony, and he sat right next to me. And I'm sitting in my second period class, just working on something, I don't know what it was. And Anthony walks in, and he was late as hell, and he's usually never late. And he walks in, and the teacher goes, "Anthony, you're late." And he doesn't even look up at him. He doesn't even acknowledge what the teacher said. He just blows right past him and sits down next to me, looking angry as fuck. His face was all red. He looked like he was about to punch somebody. And I could just tell something was off. So I didn't say anything about it. I didn't want to ask about his business because it wasn't any of my business. And I could just, see how angry he was. So I didn't want to piss him off more. So he gets to working on whatever we were working on. And one of the teachers walks over to us and taps Anthony on the shoulder. And he looks up and he goes, "What?" And she's like, "Anthony, what's the problem today? You're never late. Why are you late?" And he's like, "Because I was late today. None of your fucking business." And everyone in the class kind of looked at him like, shit, Anthony's angry. And she goes, "Anthony, there's no need for that language. I'm going to let it slide this one time, but please never raise your voice like that again." And he goes, "Whatever." And he goes back to working. And she walks away, and I look at him for a second. Then he looks at me, and he goes, "What are you looking at, Austin?" And I was like, "Nothing, dude, nothing at all." He's like, "All right, good." And I could clearly tell he was troubled about something, so I decided to offer him something. I was like, "Yo, man, if you need anything today, seriously, anything at all, I will get it for you. If you want, some food from the restaurant across the street for lunch, I'll go grab it on lunch break." He's like, "Yeah?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I don't fucking need shit from you, Austin. Just do your fucking work and stay in your fucking place. You got me?" And I'm like, "Whatever, Anthony." And I look back at my paper and just start doing my work. Because clearly, he didn't want any help, right? I didn't want to bother him anymore. And he was pissing me off with his attitude. I knew he was going through something, but he was being so rude to everybody around him. And that shit wasn't cool. And after I said whatever to him, he's like, "What'd you just say to me?" I was like, "I said whatever, Anthony." And all of a sudden, he starts unzipping his backpack he's reaching in for something. And I get kind of scared, right? Because I'm like, what the fuck is this dude doing? And he goes, "Give me attitude again and see what happens." I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You like living?" I was like, yeah, it's not bad." He's like, "Good, then keep it that way." And I hear him flip a knife in his backpack. You know how a knife sounds when you flip it out? Yeah, I heard that in his backpack. And I just didn't say anything. I just went back to doing my work because at this point, there was nothing else I could say to calm him down. And to be quite honest, I didn't want to say anything else because he was clearly so angry. Even trying to be nice to him was pissing him off. So I went back to doing my work. But I guess one of the teachers heard him flip that knife and threatened me because right after he did it and I turned my head to go back to work, I hear the teacher walk over and go, "Anthony, what's in your backpack? Show me right now." And he goes, "Nothing, don't worry about it." And she goes, "Do you have a weapon in school?" And at this point, the entire classroom looks scared and they're all staring at him. And he's like, "No, I don't." And she goes, "I heard you flip a knife or something. What was that?" And he goes, "What if it is a knife? Whatever, who cares?" And she grabs him by the shirt collar and goes, "Come with me right now." And she escorts him up to the main office. And at this point, everyone's looking at me. And this kid looks over and goes, "Austin, did he have a knife?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. It sounded like he did, but I don't know. I'm just trying to do my work." He goes, "Shit, man, like, you just dodged a bullet. Or a blade, for that matter." I was like, I don't think he was going to stab me, but I guess, sure. And then like 5 minutes later, the announcements come on and go, "Austin to the main office, please. Austin to the main office." And I'm just like, fuck. So I walk upstairs, and I am just dreading this, right? Like, the last thing I wanted to be doing was hanging out at the principal's office, involved in some situation I never tried to be involved in. Like, all I was trying to do was be a good friend. I was offering my friend some food from this restaurant, and he snapped on me and threatened me, and like, I just didn't want to be involved in this. So I go up to the principal's office and I walk in expecting to see, Anthony, Mr. Emo, and the principal, but Anthony's not in there. So I asked the principal. I was like, "Where'd Anthony go?" And my principal goes, "Oh, I sent him home. He's suspended for 3 weeks." I was like, 3 weeks? Really? And my principal's like, "Yeah, he brought a knife to school. What'd you expect?" I was like, "Oh, so he did have a knife?" And my principal's like, "Yep, I just want to get your side of the story." And I was like, "Look, there really is no, my side. I just offered him something because he seemed upset. I offered him some food. He got mad at me, threatened me, and then flipped his knife in his backpack, and that was it." And my principal goes, "Really? You just offered him food, and he flipped his knife at you?" I was like, "Well, it wasn't at me. It was in his backpack, but yeah, kinda." And my principal's like, "All over some food? That doesn't seem believable." And I was like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you. One of the teachers in the room heard it. You can ask her." And my principal goes, "Okay, whatever, I will. Have a good one." And they send me out of the room. So I walk out of there, and I go downstairs to my class. I sit down at my table again. People start asking me questions again, like, "Yo, did you see the knife?" And I was like, "No." Now, anyway, fast forward, the rest of that day was pretty normal. And then fast forward 3 weeks, Anthony never came back to school. A couple months go by, nothing. A few more months after that go by, nothing. Anthony was just gone. That dude got expelled or something, or he just never came back to school and got transferred. I don't know. Either way, moral of the story is, if you're having a bad day, you can't act like Anthony did, because that was just completely out of pocket. I totally understand being in a bad mood and not wanting to talk to people, but you can't threaten to end my life over it. Not a good idea. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. And yeah, feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And check out my Twitch if you want. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace out. Like, what's up? They leave me out for the dead, and now they know they're fucked. All my texts are unread, that's how